Hello. Yes, excellent. We are live. I've got the little red live at the top.
Live,
Fantastic.
live.
Woo, live. Yeah. We have 3 Bloomz for the price of 1. How fantastic is that?
3 times the value.
Absolutely. And the great thing is we actually have, now this is where I say I'm going to be a really bad weather girl. So we've got the logo up there, well, the Bloomz, and we've also got down there. So we are the Bloomz, and we are here primarily to tell you about our show, which, Fiona, you'll have to correct me on dates because I always get the dates wrong, as you know. But it's the 17th and 18th. Is that correct?
18th, 19th.
18th, 19th. There you go. It's not just me. Yes. And so I'll get the date wrong, and Julie will turn up just in time. So there you go.
Always there, though.
Yeah, always there. Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'm there because Fiona will have reminded me I got the date wrong, so I'm fine. So.
Oh, somebody's watching us while they're baking. Oh, can we come round?
Oh, excellent.
Yeah, we're looking. We want cake.
Okay. So we can't see who you're baking. So it'd be lovely if you put your name up when you said your message. That'd be brilliant. But anyway, yes, so we're here to tell you about our show, which is coming up. And it's actually going to be like 3 weekends' time, isn't it now? So really, really excited. Yeah. And as you can see, we won't go on and on about it because you can see our website below and above us. You can go there, get tickets, and we'll tell you more about that at the end. But actually, what we wanted to do is tell you a bit about our art, because there's going to be 10 artists, of which we are 3. And
international artists,
absolutely. And last time we sort of interviewed each other, and people found out a bit more about us, and that those are still available on YouTube. But we thought today it'd be lovely if we actually said a bit more about our art, which is what you'll be coming to see at the show. And some of us, well, me, I'll be in this room at the show. This is where I'll be. So
I shall be here.
There you go. So there you go. So you we're giving you a flavour of what you're going to come and see at the show. So first of all, we are going to go over to Fiona. So I'm going to give you spotlight, Fiona. There we go. So you can tell us, and we can have a chat with you as well, a bit more about your art. There you go.
Excellent. Well, as some of you will already know, I'm primarily a landscape painter, working mainly in oils, and I love just trying to capture the beauty of the natural world. And what I really want to try and do even more is to raise awareness of the issues that are facing the planet at the moment as well. So that's something that I'm quite keen on. But my paintings are designed to be fairly tranquil, calming, peaceful. So as well as taking people to a place of beauty, feeling as though they can actually step into the paintings and lose themselves in nature for a little while and de-stress, chill out, relax, and just have a peaceful, calming experience whenever they sit down and look at the painting. So that's my aim with my work, as well as enjoying doing it, which I love, obviously. I do tend to use knives for painting rather than brushes, mostly. And it just the textures, the way you can move the paint around, and just the whole thing with a knife, and cleaning up's really easy too, which is another bonus. But I just love the effects I can get, which I can't get the same effects with brushes. And there again, there are some brush effects I can't get with a knife, but on the whole, I just prefer the knife so much more. And in fact, all of the paintings that are behind me have been done with knives, no brushes. And recently, I've started using gold leaf in my paintings. Mm-hmm. And so there are 3 at the top here, 2 at the top and 1 just below. Get the finger going in the right direction there. They're all oil paint on top of gold leaf. And so I start off by actually coating a surface with gold leaf, a canvas. And as you can see, it's very nice and shiny and reflective and goldy, which is lovely. And oh, hi, Renata. Renata's in with us.
It was Sammy who was baking, by the way.
Yeah. and I know Sam is baking, I want to be there and eat those cakes.
Oh, yeah.
So this is one that I've actually finished, which is on the gold leaf, and as you can see, the paint is not glossy like the gold leaf. When it's varnished, it will have a little bit of shine on the paint as well, but the gold leaf shining through from behind, and as the light changes, the whole painting seems to change, from a morning scene all the way through to sort of silhouette of the sun going down behind it. I think I need somebody to come and close the curtains.
Well, you got a real golden
low light.
There was a real red glow just then. It looked like an evening sunset. There you go. Got the real red glow on it there. Beautiful.
So, and I'm just really enjoying using the gold leaf like this. It's conservation-wise, it's absolutely fine, because once the leaf's gone onto the canvas, then it's sealed so that the paint won't affect it in any way, because it is actually imitation leaf. I wouldn't want to be paying for the genuine gold leaf and covering it up with paint. Adding it on top, yes, but just covering it all up with paint, not so much. So it's all absolutely fine. It'll last a very, very long time, and it's just really good fun. And I've now got some silver leaf as well that I'm planning to use for something rather special, which hopefully I'll have done by the time of our Bloomz exhibition. But we'll wait and see on that one. But there we go. So
it's stunning effect.
It's
yeah.
It's just,
I'm really, really loving that gold, and I can imagine the silver's just going to be. I mean, it's stunning. As you know, I love your work because I have a piece of your work already.
Yes, I'm honoured. Thank you.
Love it, absolutely.
But, it's just such good fun, and I still like doing straight oil paintings with the knife, such as these ones are just oils, no gold leaf, and I still enjoy doing them that way as well. But it's just so much fun with the gold leaf, and seeing how it changes and how it looks with the paint it's just wow. So I'm a bit of a gold leaf fan at the moment, so don't stand still too long, because if you're around here you get covered in gold.
It's definitely addictive. It's definitely addictive though, isn't it? Because I keep seeing all the gold leaf and thinking, what can I put gold leaf on? I must need gold leaf on.
And the thing is as well, when you prepare a board or a canvas, and it comes in square sheets, so where there are joins in this one, the joins are along here, which don't really notice very much, but all gold leaf, genuine gold leaf as well, comes in small sheets, smaller than this in fact. So you overlap them slightly, and you overlap the edges a little bit. So then once it's had time to dry on there, you then need to take a brush and just lightly brush away all the excess. Best done outside, otherwise you tend to have gold leaf in your ears, in your hair.
Oh, Liz said that, didn't she, that time? Get it everywhere.
And in the house, you keep coming, what's that shining over there? Oh, it's a bit of gold leaf. You vacuum it all up and think, I've got it all, I've got it. No, it's just stuck somewhere waiting to, fall off and blow around. And it's so light. You take a sheet, which is, I think it's 16 centimeters, the imitation one, and you can just pick it up just so lightly like that and just blow it, and it just flutters around. So you can imagine the little bits that you brush off the edge everywhere. So I'm getting a nice sparkly garden now.
Well, it's not a bad thing, is it, to have sparkling around?
No,
absolutely.
My word.
Sparkly garden.
Your garden, absolutely.
Yes. So
but that gold effect really makes me want to walk. I mean, those pictures you've got behind you there, they just make me want to walk through and go. And I'm a bit of a magpie. I love anything shiny and not war. But yeah, they just make me want to go. I'm just looking at them behind you, and they just really do.
Yeah.
They're so effective and gorgeous.
Gorgeous.
Yeah. But
it was those changing.
It's the way it changes with the light as well. That's so fascinating to me as well, and just incredible, really. So
beautiful.
Yeah, so that's my new thing in the same style, using oils as well, but just a little bit of a new thing. I won't be doing just all gold leaf paintings. I'll be still doing some just with oils, but yeah, it's very, very addictive at the moment. So
Fantastic.
And I hope so, because I bought enough gold leaf to last me quite a while. So.
I love it. Well, I hope that silver leaf one's ready for the blooms, because that'll be fantastic. Yeah,
I hope so. I'll keep you posted.
Okay.
Giving me an idea for the edges of my paintings now. I'm like,
yes. Another friend of mine. Yeah, she was asking about that, to do, instead of not necessarily having gold leaf on the painting, but just doing the edges with the gold leaf. Yeah. And that, yes, if you don't want to frame it, that it is a really nice way of finishing the painting off. In fact, with these ones, I may even gold leaf the edges of these ones as well. So, yes, I can see we might be having another convert here.
Well, I like a bit of gold. I've been known to add a bit of gold leaf to my paintings as well, but I've never thought about it. Just you talking there, I was like, oh, do that.
Especially if you're using like wood panels, birch panels or something, with a slightly deeper edge. Yeah, that would look fantastic. If you've got any, I don't know how smooth your ones are, or whether you might get a bit of wood grain showing through the gold leaf, which would be lovely. So
why don't you show us, Julie? Show us what you've got.
Yes.
I'm going to move you into the spot. Here we
put
go.
Me in the spotlight. Oh my! So, well, this piece, I'd say, as we're talking edges. So yes, these I paint with a really unusual medium called encaustic wax, which is beeswax essentially. And yeah, I don't know if you can see this okay. So I've got,
it's lovely, beautiful.
A bit like Fiona's really changed with the light. Hang on, where am I? There's a lot of copper. I think maybe just coming into. I've got to catch the right light in here. I've got windows in a funny place. I don't know if it's coming across.
It's not catching, is it, Julie?
There's a big swathe of kind of copper. That's too bright. Anyway, it is there. Believe me.
It did show up just now.
Yeah, it is there. It's just me catching. There we are, a little bit there coming. It's just me catching it in the right place and doing it mirror back to front. It's but yeah. So my paintings that I'm planning to bring into this show is, well, everything is painted with beeswax, but they're all very individual. But I've been working on a series of. This is one that I'm working on at the moment. You can see that. But they're kind of very much sort of otherworldly, just multi-layers. So I'm going to have some abstract pieces and some of these kind of pieces, but quite a sort of spiritual otherworld, angels and, people kind of looking over you, if you like. But this is an example. I was just saying about the edging. So when I'm painting them, I tend to edge them. I mean, it's all taped off at the moment so that any grubby edges are protected. I'm just thinking, that with silver leaf or gold leaf around. But this particular one it's like a floating frame, so you kind of hang it. You can add a frame if you want to, but this is actually quite a thin piece. But when it sits flush on the wall, they look, they just kind of sit out from the wall. That not quite. I don't know what thickness that is. But yeah, and there's a lot of copper up here as well on there. So. My particular
they're a bit textured as well. The finish,
very
aren't
textured.
They?
Yes, there's a lot of layers in there, and I've got papers and inks and a little bit of lace going on. So this piece is actually on the main Bloomz website, so you can have a look at that up close. I think it's on the video as well, and you can hopefully see. It's on my website as well, actually. I think so. It's a bit of glitter at the top. So yeah, I like to use a lot of layers. And I tend to put those kind of metallic colours on the top, or gold leaf when I'm using gold leaf. So she's got very, very faint kind of angel wings here as well. So yes, so these are some of the styles that I will be, well, the main style that I'll be bringing to the Bloomz show. A few little surprises in there as well, maybe. But yeah, all painted with beeswax. So I tend to paint. Fiona was talking knives. I paint hot air guns. So yeah, I've got my hot plate back here. I heat and my iron. So I heat my wax up, and then once it's molten, I paint it on. But I have to kind of fuse each layer.
That fusing. I hadn't realised. You were doing some lives this week, and you were showing that where you've put it down, and now you have to fuse it. Does it move again when you fuse?
Oh yes.
Oh wow.
Every time. and you think, I've got it, and you're like, oh, dang, I've lost it again. And it's this sort of, it's almost like a sculpting method when you kind of get into the posture. The abstract pieces, it's quite, you can kind of let them kind of just play and have fun, and you know roughly where the wax is going to end up when you're putting the colours down. But certainly the portraits, you just do really, really light fuse and keep your fingers crossed that it doesn't all completely
Yeah.
start pulling it all back in together again. This piece, I had her eyes beautifully in the week. A piece of something on her. Yeah, they were amazing. And then I added a little bit more on, fused her, and it was like, so yeah, there's a lot. You just sort of sit there, you get the structure right, and then you just pray that you're not going to completely blow it all over the place. Sometimes you do, but then that's part of pulling it back together and getting it in finished form again. But I love it. It's just so tactile.
When you're fusing it, can you direct the paint with the airflow to make it go into different places?
You can do, yeah. Or equally, when I'm kind of getting into the detail of the eye, for example, I just give it such a light fuse. And also I've got not with me, but like a blowtorch, so there's no air with that. It's literally just the heat, and you pass the flame across. And yeah, I tend to try and use that for, like a little creme brulee kind of torch, so that you just give it a really, really light fuse on those pieces. But I just, so the heat will fuse it rather than the hot air blowing it. But you can use it for either effect. But as long as the purpose of fusing is so that you actually, the piece of wax or paint, wax paint that you've just added, you have to bind it to the layer below, because otherwise you end up with lots of layers. So say it's a bit like slate, if you drop a piece of slate and it's, you have to get that bonding of those layers together. When I use this particular brand of waxes anyway. So, but it's amazing. There's something about it. It's just the smell, the texture, and and it just gives this different light that I just think talking myself out of it, looking at your gold leaf paintings and the oil paintings you've just shown us. But the light and the texture and the way it changes as you move around the room, and even on a bright sunny day, so I can finish a painting. It's quite dull here today, but you'll come into the room and these paintings behind me over my finger. Where am I going? Same as you're doing with me. Back here. It's quite a dull day, and then they're a lovely colour. But I came in the other day on a really bright sunny day, and they almost kind of go luminous. They really they just catch you, but you can't. You can never quite tell when it's going to happen and when it's not. So it's not that you can say at 4 o'clock every day. That's going to be that. But it's almost like you get these little unexpected bursts throughout the year, and you're like, sometimes kind of paintings can mould into the wall a little bit, and you kind of almost forget they're there. But I love them for that. I had some in the window actually. It'd been snowing outside, and the light that they gave off when it was snowing with all the, it was amazing. They kind of bring something different throughout the year as well. Yeah. But I do love it. I don't know, a bit obsessed with it.
With the waxes, are they all translucent or are some of them opaque?
No, some are opaque, but there's both. Some are opaque, some are translucent. So
you need to know the qualities of each before you use it, so that you don't hide something you really want to shine through. So there's a bit of a science to it. It's I always used to go around saying it's really easy, anybody can do this, but actually it's like no, okay, I find it easy, but not necessarily everybody finds it easy. So even if you just play with it, then that kind of hot molten chocolate, buttery kind of, kind of all like you whisk it, and it's like, it's just delicious. It's that texture. So even if you don't do anything out more than just get that texture, that way of applying it, when you put it on the iron or the hot plate, it's just like, it's just.
So when you say it's easy, I suppose the basic concept is easy, as in anybody can have a go. Yes. But to actually create things to do what takes time and everything. But because I love things like that, where you say, well, actually anybody can have a go at a standard, but and you can take it up to your level if you want to, or you can stay down, or so 100%. Fantastic.
And I used to run an awful lot of workshops, and when particularly this style, there's a style with the iron where actually you're on paper rather than these boards, which I'm building up in layers. But that, from a beginner's perspective, is, oh my goodness. And you'd always have people come in. They'd be like, "I'm not sure what I'm doing here. I can't draw a straight line. They've dragged me along." And it was always the people that said, "I can't draw a straight line," or they've been told at school that they, that picture didn't make it onto the wall and all that kind of thing. And they're like, "My art teacher told me I couldn't paint," and they just completely lose themselves in it. And it's just a lovely thing to see. I absolutely loved it. So you can just literally just have fun, and you get some amazing shapes and patterns in that way. But yeah, there's something for all levels really, depending on how detailed you want to go.
Brilliant. Elisa's come online and saying, "You all rock."
Yay!
And
Elisa.
Mac said she loves the gold leaf. Thank you, Mac.
Yay.
Brilliant. Lovely to see you all here. Thank you.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Excellent.
I suppose it's a bit like oils as well. You can use oils in different ways, and anybody can have a go with them. But I think with your encaustic, you can produce some of those, just with the iron and that, you can just get some wonderful different effects, which maybe is not so easy with an oil because you're, in a way with oils, you're sort of drawing as much as painting.
Right.
You need to have the structure, unless we're going abstract. But I think abstract is actually a lot more difficult than people think to create a good abstract. So
absolutely.
But then the benefit with oils is if it doesn't look right, you can either scrape it back and start again, or leave it to dry and paint over the top. So I suppose it's similar in that respect, because you could always put another layer on top of yours.
You just go over it with heat and remold it. Yeah. Sorry.
And can you heat it and then scrape it off if you wanted to? Or,
yes, she says. Oh, yes.
I've got a tool for every occasion in this place, Yeah, particularly this layered version where you build it up in layers and then you often scratch it. I've got a piece next door actually. Oh my, I'll often use like lino cut tools. So I'll build a lot of layers, then use lino cut tools to kind of pull back and reveal the layers underneath and the colours. So many things. You don't get me started because I'll go.
I know you get so excited. You get so excited about it, Julie. I love it when you talk about it. It's excellent.
I've done demos.
This one.
Sorry, go on.
This one here is gold leaf across the whole canvas, and for the grasses at the bottom of it, I've just scratched into the paint while it was still wet. So it's actually got gold. Looks like gold highlighted grass at the bottom.
Lovely.
A similar sort of thing, for you, revealing a layer below.
Yes,
which is really, really good. Yeah, good fun.
It is. Enthusiasm gets me enthusiastic. I'm just like, I'm off and running then.
Elisa wants to have a go at wax as well because it's so intriguing. She wants to have a go, she said. Yeah.
Well, I'm your lady. I can help you out with all aspects of that. So yes, got online courses and lots of resources on my website. I've got to go to the blog. There's a How to Paint with Wax blog. That's probably your best step to start off with. So there you go. Cool. Have a go yourself. Discover the joy of it. It's amazing.
Absolutely.
Anyway.
Absolutely.
So there we are.
It's just fun.
So how about shall we find out a little bit about?
There we go. Moving over into the hot seat.
Yeah. I need the hot light with me. What it's called?
The hot seat. Yeah.
Hot seat. Yeah.
So I'm going to just stretch back here because I produce fibre sculptures and using the needle felting technique, which you were saying about using knives and things, and I use needles and stab. So it's like we could have been other, like a bunch of assassins, couldn't we, in another life?
Some unusual tools going on around this place, haven't we?
I slash away with my knives. Julie burns them with the heat gun, and you stab with your needles.
Stab with the needles, absolutely. Oh dear. So this is one is particularly special because normally needle felting is done using wool, because the process of felting is, because the way the fibers are in wool, they've got scales, and the needles with the notches, it actually joins the fibers together. But Thetis was done specifically for a competition about wildlife. And so I've used recycled plastic bottle fibres, which actually look just like wool. But that's what's in the centre, because obviously to highlight the fact of the seas where we put all our plastic. And Fiona saying about caring about the environment and everything. That's another aspect of that. And my thought process was, if I'm using fibre like that in my pieces, which are permanent pieces on display, they don't end up. So not only am I highlighting the fact that plastic, we need to actually reuse it rather than put it in the sea, but the plastic that I've used will be in here permanently because it's like a permanent piece. So that's lovely. But I equally get excited. I just find that I get inspired by a particular animal, and like this particular Thetis, I rarely make a piece from start to finish. I normally start and then I get to the point where you go, I'm not quite sure where that's going, and then I go somewhere else and then I come back to it. But Thetis, I just ploughed on and was just inspired all the way through until I was like, I am so happy with how it's, how you love it when one piece and you just go, that's how I imagined it, and it's turned out. And so the colours on thing, because she is actually a green turtle, but when they're in the water, of course, the light which comes down through the water onto their shell makes it actually look all these different colours when they're actually inside. So there you go.
It's bigger than I thought. She's yeah.
And do you make it? It's all one piece, Steph, is it? It's not bits put together. Is it all made from one central core?
So the way I create things is I actually do a skeleton, a wire skeleton in the middle. So I will actually find copies of a skeleton online, and then I'll replicate that with a wire, and then I'll build it up. So I am building up the whole shape all the way. I don't just make the head and then stick it onto the body. I'm actually creating the whole bit. And in fact, for this particular piece, I actually put a wire around the edge so that I always knew where my edge of my shell was going to be, so that I could build up the shell and the legs. But yeah, I build the whole piece up. I mean, you can do, it's like everything. Every art that ever is, there's many different ways, aren't there, of doing it. And some people who create sculptures actually create pieces and then put bits together. But I like to actually have a skeleton inside, because I like the idea of being able to maneuver them. Because I always say I love to create my pieces, and I really feel connected to them. But once my collector has them home, they carry on their own narrative with them, and they might see this piece sitting slightly differently. And like, I use magnets, so he's actually on his stand here with magnets, so you can still maneuver him a bit, calling him, but her, so you can move them about. It's like, and that's what I like about it. I like that we all can do our own thing. It's like we all imagine how an artist did a piece of art. Sometimes the person who buys it has a whole different theme going on, don't they? And I love that, because it means the story carries on. It's like they're all stories, aren't they? They're all narratives, and the story carries on. So, but yeah, Thetis was my my latest piece. But a piece that I'm doing for the show that I haven't finished yet is going to be Pegasus, the flying horse.
Excellent.
So I'm currently finishing the wings and going to do that. So I have a oh, isn't that great? My phone's ringing. I'll just we're live, ladies and gentlemen, we're live. Just so popular.
There's someone wanting to get in on the act, I think.
Absolutely. They've obviously seen it. Yeah.
It's like the shopping channel. They're calling in to buy.
Yes, they're calling already. I hadn't even given the number out, and they're calling already. Amazing. But, which is lovely. But so I mainly concentrate on animals, because I just I feel quite a connection to them. But I do, as you can see, I'm going to point to the right side. Yes, there, I've got Shakespeare. And I am actually doing a Frida Kahlo at the moment, which I really want to get ready for the Bloomz. They're my two pieces I want to get ready for the Bloomz, which is a Frida Kahlo, which is going to be really quite special and different, and my Pegasus with his, you know, wings and he's rearing up. Yeah, and also, I mean, the great thing, because we're here sort of saying about the Bloomz and the show, let me just pop Thetis back here.
Just while you're putting her back, I've not actually felt one of your sculptures. Are they really solid, Steph? Are they, you know, they're not squishy, they're really felted solidly, or what?
So Thetis with the shell is solid. In fact, I can tap on it and it's quite hard, because you can felt wool so hard that you can carve it with a knife and just open it up. Or obviously it may be that I've done fish before now, which are obviously quite floaty, so you can felt it so that it's not going to come apart, but it's going to, and like the feathers for the kestrel, obviously they have to be quite thin individually, so you can do them so that they aren't going to fall apart, but they're thin. But when to make something solid, you just have to keep felting. And when I say felting, I have my little needles and I have my wool, and you have a mass of wool which just, if you keep felting it, just gets smaller and smaller and smaller and denser and denser and denser until it's, people say, can you over felt? You can, but your arm will probably fall off before you actually manage to get that far.
So it's only a certain amount of stabbing you can do at one go.
Well, yeah, I mean, and certainly that was one thing about the recycled plastic, because obviously it's a bit harsher than wool. And so when you got to the solid point, you really did sort of go, oh, blimey, you know, building up the muscles a bit there, rather than wool, which was much softer. And the recycled plastic got in that hard state quicker, which it was perfect for Thetis, because obviously wanting to create that hard shell. But that's what I love about it. You can actually create, you know, solid things, floaty things. It's, once again, it's like trying to you're molding and sculpting anything to actually just give you that effect. You know, sometimes you want to get it literally that effect, and sometimes you just want to give it that feel. It just depends, doesn't it? Every piece is different how you actually want to bring it across. And saying Julie saying about, you know, it's easy, it's like needle felting's easy. You can start off really, really quickly and do basic things, and that's what I love about it, is that anybody can have a go. But obviously you need to dedicate yourself and study to get yourself up to the level where you're actually making sculptures and replicas of animals or faces or things like that. But yeah, it's just, you know, you get carried away with it all, don't you? It's like we
you must have some patience for it. I actually have had a go at needle felting.
Oh!
I created my own Santa Claus Christmas decoration.
Hey,
I was very proud of it, but it probably took me about 15-20 minutes, and it was like this big. It was tiny, but it was quite soft. And I really enjoyed it, but I'd had enough then. I was like, I've tried it and I've done it, and that. But to have the patience, I mean, it was really good because I at least understood the process, because for me it was a complete mystery. I had no idea how it worked, and I really, really enjoyed that. But yeah, I mean, my arm was aching after 15 minutes.
Yeah,
you know, and how you do those big pieces for that length, you've got to be dedicated to that, I'm sure.
Well, I do think that when you do it alongside anything, is that you find a way of actually using less effort to do something. Especially, I mean, the worst part of needle felting, if there is a worst part, is like the preparation and getting a piece ready, and that's the bit where you're just stabbing to get the core or anything. Because let's face it, we all want to put the pretty stuff on. That's what we're here for.
Gold leaf.
Gold leaf's pretty. It's like gessoing your board, all that kind of side of it, isn't it? Taping the edges.
So it's getting that core, so you're all right, okay, you know, before you actually start doing the, hey, now I'm actually going to be creating the now I'm actually getting there. So it's that's the part where you think, you need to find an efficient way of doing it, as in, because that is just, but you're saying about being patient. I would say I'm not a naturally patient person, and actually I'm someone who can't draw as well. But I found that when I found the sculpting, is that I think in 3D, and it's why I've never been able to draw because I really don't see in 2D.
Yeah.
Oh, 3D, right.
How
Yeah, it's like amazing, like the sculptors who carve from a solid piece of marble and carve a beautiful person or whatever, and to be able to see that image in that solid block of marble, I think you do have to have a slightly different way of thinking.
Well, the thing about that carving from a block though is like you can't make a mistake. Oh, I've taken too much off. You can't add it on, and that's the wonderful thing about when you're building up. I liken it to when you're building up, as in with clay or anything, because you're adding shapes, and you can actually go, no, not. And as I say, even when you've done it really, really solid, and you think, no, that's wrong. I have actually got a knife before now and sliced a bit off and started again, or if the proportion's wrong, cut it, break it, put it back. You can. So from that point of view, for me, it's incredibly forgiving, because you don't have to just go, no, wrong, scrap it, start again. You think, no, I'll just adjust that and get it to work. Now, it doesn't matter what stage you're at, even if you're sort of at the colour stage, you can still pull things apart. And also, you said about bringing colour through. One of the techniques is called the reverse needle. And what you do is you layer up colours, and then you put your top. And in fact, I'm doing a little golden dachshund at the moment, where I'm putting really golden, mad colours underneath, and then put in a calm. And then you use a reverse needle to pull out those colours. So you'll just get those golden kind of madder colours just coming through the coat. So that's So we can do it with fibre. It's not just gold leaf,
I'm pleased to hear say you've got so many pieces. So that's you've got a Pegasus, Frida, and a dachshund on the go.
Yeah.
I thought it was just me that did that. I do like to have multiple pieces on the go at the same time. It's just the way my brain works. Yeah. So yes.
Well, we've decided that our brains are the same, in the sense that both of us turn up just in time. We obviously both also like having many projects on the
go. Circumstances outside of my control today.
Well, no, that wasn't I absolutely still consider myself to be early, even if it's only 2 seconds early. It's still early, isn't it? I know Sammy won't agree with us.
Sammy, bless her.
I know.
I aspire to be Sammy when I grow up.
I know when we grow up, we will be. Oh, I love it. Oh, God. I'm just looking at the comments. What have we got here? Oh, Pegasus, how exciting. Oh, Sammy said...
Renata's going to get a new home and fill it with some of our artwork.
How wonderful. The story continues with each collector. Absolutely. The artwork lives. It does. It has a life of its own. Oh, Sammy's saying cheeky.
We should probably just explain that Sammy is one of the other exhibiting Bloomz artists as well, for anybody who has no idea who Sammy is.
And she'll get her own back when she's on in a couple of weeks' time. Absolutely. So are we going to say a bit more actually about the show as well? Because
I think that's a good idea.
Let's get this all up together. There you go. Lovely.
Yeah.
So I've got the logo above my head. That's fine. Shall I put the C or the... No, there you go.
Down a bit.
Yeah. So brilliant. It's the 18th and 19th. We have 3 shows over 2 days. And on the Friday, we have the first 7 till 10. And then on the Saturday morning, it's 10 till 1. And then the evening, once again, 7 till 10.
All UK times.
All UK times. Good point. Yeah, absolutely. But the idea was that we can perhaps catch people whatever time slot they're in with those different times. But we do it on Zoom, but I know we try to get across, and we are going to try and do a video to show people how different it is to be on a Bloomz Zoom show, because we ourselves, as you can see us now in our studios, will actually all be in separate breakout rooms in our studios, and you will actually be able to come and see us in our studios. And like we were just now, as I just do here, where you got people down the side and people in the middle, this is how it looks like when you're actually in one of the rooms with us, and we play our presentation to show you all the variety of our work. And also we there to talk to you. But I think the best part about it is that you decide where you want to go. You have a list of all the artists, you have a brochure telling you who the artists are, and you can go to whichever room. You don't have to just sit there and wait till someone moves you or decides where you're going to go. You decide. And as Julie, your friends did last year, they came as a group, didn't they?
Oh, they loved
girls.
it. They absolutely loved it. They've got their cocktails and snacks and glass of fizz, and they went around together and in and out of the rooms. And exactly as you've just shown, you know, I was there on the screen with my show reel, and, you know, they were down the side. And but they'd go off and they'd have a chat, and they'd come back and tell me all about who they'd been talking to. And they really, really enjoyed it. It worked really well. So it was two of them going around. There's third one at one point, but they had to go. But, really enjoyed it. I think they came on the last show. I think they
did, before we went the after show party.
I didn't get around to see such and such, and so I think they might be there a little bit. They might be there on the Friday night this
Friday a bit early. And the great thing is,
it's really relaxed as well, though, isn't it? It's just so informal and relaxed, and they can just talk to anybody, ask questions about the artwork, discuss the weather, whatever, you know. I mean, just anything, just have a chat. If they want to just come in and just sit and watch the show reel and look at the work behind me or whatever, then, you know, that's absolutely fine. If people want to just come and look, you know, like when we go to a shop sometimes and they say, oh, can I help you? No, just looking, thank you. That's fine. You know, so talk if they want to. Just look if they don't. So.
Don't have to have the video on. And that was one thing we were saying to people. If you really don't want to have the video on, you don't have to. And the lovely thing is we actually have like a reception. We have Steve who actually introduces the show to everybody so they know where they need to go and how they need to go. We have a breakout relaxing room where people can just go and sit and think, oh, let me think about where I'm going and what I'm doing. And even in there, we've got a show reel of all the different artists so they can actually see, oh, actually, I'll go and see that person and then go back. So, you know, there's lots of chance to relax. That's the idea, isn't it? Relax.
If people want to just take out 10 minutes to go and have a, you know, make themselves a drink or something, they can just go into there so that they're not sort of in a room but not there, as it were. So that was
exactly what a friend did.
Just going for a little while they do something else without having to sign out and get back into the show again. So
it's like a park room, really, isn't it? My friend did that, and she went off, and actually she came in for like half an hour at the start, knew she had dinner at a certain time, and then, you know, parked herself in there, disappeared and had dinner with a glass of wine, and came back later, and, you know, worked brilliantly. She said it was really well thought out. She was really highly so that worked well.
I've not heard anyone say anything bad about it so far. Everybody that I know that's come has just really, really enjoyed it. So the only thing, one friend tried to come in on an old mobile and it just didn't work. So, you know, a laptop or a Mac or something's definitely the best. If you haven't got that, tablet's the next best. A phone isn't ideal.
The thing is that it's mainly down to, you know, all the functionality with regards to moving around and everything. Obviously it's much easier if you've actually got a laptop and you're sitting there and doing it than it is even on a tablet. But if that's what you've got, that's what you need to come on. But, you know, yes, but we love it. We get excited about it. We have a great after show party, don't we, on the Saturday?
Don't know what you mean.
So really looking forward to it. And
also, Stephanie, is it the same link for each? So if you register on the Friday night and you wanted to come back on the Saturday morning, for example,
yes, you can come back for any of them. It's the same link for all of them. Obviously the show doesn't open until that time that it opens, so you get put into a waiting room and then let in. But it's exactly the same link. So even if you've booked for one of them and haven't turned up, you can still come. And I actually send emails out to everybody who's booked to say, look, you know, even if you've been and you want to come back, or you've, for whatever reason, something came up and you couldn't come to that time, don't worry, come to one of the other times. It's absolutely fine. Yeah, perfect.
Yeah,
And the last show, we thought the Friday night was going to be really, really hectic, and it turned out the Saturday was busier. So it might be a tip to come on Friday night this time. It might be quieter if you want to really chat with everybody. But having said that, maybe everyone will come Friday night now. So
double bluff.
Yeah. We've got Saturday morning you can catch up with your coffee in the morning. But actually, the different time zones are interesting because I always remember Cindy. We, you know, our morning one, they were all having a party and all, in Cindy's room on the having a Aussie party. So
absolutely, I think poor Cindy, the amount of meetings we have, which are for her at 2:00 in the morning or something, and we say,
how she goes them all, honestly, bless her, she's committed beyond belief.
But the wonderful thing for our visitors is they get to see Elisa in Italy, Cindy in Australia, Renata and Anne-Marie in Canada. Mac's going to be in Scotland, and we're all going to be, the rest of us are in the UK, but we are, scattered around. And so without travelling on a plane.
Without leaving their sofa, even. They can
no
come and meet us.
Masks required.
Yeah, perfect.
Absolutely.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Excellent. Okay, so does either of you have anything else you wanted to say before we go? And we can obviously say that we will have 3 more artists next week that we will put up and advertise, which because the date, Fiona, do you know the date?
18th and 19th. Oh, sorry, for next week's show. No.
No, for next week.
Sorry, I was thinking of Gold Leaf.
Let me have a look in my diary. I'm sure I've written in the diary. Oh no, I've got my Remarkable. It's bound to be in my Remarkable, isn't it? Yeah, my new toy. Is it next Thursday? Let's have a look.
That'll be the 3rd then, I think.
I'm pretty sure it's at 3:00. Let me have a look. My files. Here we go. Bum, bum, bum. That's us this week. Let's have a look. Oh, it's Thursday and it's 6 p.m. I've got it wrong. So it's Lisa, Anne-Marie and Katie next Thursday, 6 p.m. There you go.
On the 3rd of June.
That's it. Well done.
Excellent.
Lovely.
There we go.
Are there any other comments that have come through? Just check the comments before we go.
Oh, yeah. So if
I haven't got my eyes on those, I can't see them.
No, I think we're okay. I think we've said hello to everybody. Thank you for watching. Thank you.
And this will still be available, obviously, in Facebook and YouTube. So people will be coming on, even if they would love it if they put #replay, so we could come on and see their comments and we'll answer anything else. But we'll also put links in the comments as well for everybody, so they can find the Bloomz, find us, and hopefully come along and see us.
Just get online and book your tickets, people.
Yeah, absolutely. It's really easy, really easy now. Perfect. In fact, we've got a big red button, haven't we, on the Bloomz website, which says tickets. Yeah, you can't miss it.
Sounds good.
Excellent.
Okay, right. Well,
been brilliant, girls.
Fabulous. Been lovely talking to you.
Yeah.
See you all soon.
See you soon.
Carry
on.
Yeah. Oh, look at you lot. Yeah. I don't.
Great. Okay.